Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. The law of life is to leave behind the ground one is standing on, and then step forward. Stop trying, stop struggling, begin to be calm, to trust in the higher laws of life. Even though you do not see them, they are still there. All love is expansion, all selfishness is contraction. Love is therefore the only law of life. He who loves lives, he who is selfish is dying. Therefore love for love's sake, because it is the only law of life, just as you breathe to live. Time and the world do not stand still. Change is the law of life. Everything dies. That is the law of life, the bitter and changeable law. The universe will always remove what is no longer serving you. If we can keep ourselves from interfering with the natural laws of life, mistakes can be our child's finest teachers. Survival is the second law of life. The first is that we are all one. The law of life is that the mind should be at rest, while the body engages in action. He who would live must fight. He who doesn't wish to fight in this world, where permanent struggle is the law of life, has not the right to exist. Work is the law of life, and to reject it as boredom is to submit to it as torment. Integration is a basic law of life. When we resist it, disintegration is the natural result, both inside and outside of us. Thus we come to the concept of harmony through integration. There was that law of life, so cruel and so just, that one must grow or else pay more for remaining the same. The only dependable law of life. Everything is always worse than you thought it was going to be. It is in struggle and service with our brothers and sisters, individually and collectively, that we find the meaning of life. Constant development is the law of life, and a man who always tries to maintain his dogmas in order to appear consistent drives himself into a false position. Success is not a pursuit, but the result of obedience to the divine and natural laws of life established by the Creator. The true laboratory is the mind, where behind illusions we uncover the laws of truth. Throughout history, every period of enlightenment has been accompanied by darkness pushing in opposition. Such are laws of nature and balance. If love wasn't the law of life, life would not have persisted in the midst of death. Success is not a pursuit, but the result of obedience to the divine and natural laws of life established by the Creator. The true meaning of Christ's teaching consists in the recognition of love as the supreme law of life, and therefore not admitting any exceptions. Every law of matter or the body supposed to govern man is rendered null and void by the law of life, God. Over events we may have some control, but over the law of life's progress none. My life isn't theories and formulae, it's part instinct, part common sense. Logic is as good a word as any, and I've absorbed what logic I have from everything and everyone, from my mother, from training as a ballet dancer, from Vogue magazine, from the laws of life and health and nature. And remember one fundamental law of life: if they are hostile, they have hate towards us, sooner or later they are going to fall into my trap, because hate can turn into love very easily, just as love can become hate very easily. The more we search for ourselves, the less likely we are to find ourselves, and the more we search for God and to serve our fellow men, the more profoundly will we become acquainted with ourselves, and the more inwardly assured. This is one of the great spiritual laws of life. Only old Benjamin professed to remember every detail of his long life and to know that things never had been, nor ever could be much better or much worse, hunger, hardship, and disappointment being, so he said, the unalterable law of life. Trees are sanctuaries. Whoever knows how to speak to them, whoever knows how to listen to them, can learn the truth. They do not preach learning and precepts. They preach, undeterred by particulars, the ancient law of life. Variability is the law of life, and as no two faces are the same, so no two bodies are alike, and no two individuals react alike and behave alike under the abnormal conditions, which we know as disease. The reason men don't know the law of life is because they're afraid to look eternity in the face. At such moments, you realize that you and the other are, in fact, one. It's a big realization. Survival is the second law of life. The first is that we are all one. You've got to learn to accept the law of life and face the fact that we disintegrate slowly. It is the law of life that if you are kind to someone, you feel happy. If you wreck who, you are unhappy. And if you hurt someone, you will be hurt back. Happiness is the final and perfect fruit of obedience to the laws of life. Live the law of love. We encourage obedience to the laws of life when we live the laws of love.